Welcome back to the CryptoWorld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, both the price of Ethereum and the Bitcoin price are continuing with this break to the downside as expected, but Bitcoin is approaching an important level that we need to pay attention to. More on that in just a moment. Definitely stick around. First of all, starting off on the daily Bitcoin chart, and obviously we can see here a confirmed break below this rising wedge pattern, which is technically a bearish pattern. And not only that, like I've been talking about for the past few days, we've seen a break to the downside in the daily Bitcoin RSI. So once again, both of these are bearish signals for the Bitcoin price on the daily time frame, which have been telling us over the past few days that we're due to see some more bearish price action. But as I explained in my last video that I posted yesterday on the channel, even though we could be due to see some more bearish price action, we might not necessarily see the same thing as what we saw during June or May, for example. And if you want to know why that might be the case, check out my last video that I posted yesterday, because once again, I explained that in that video. But anyway, if you zoom into the 12-hour Bitcoin chart, we can see that rising wedge pattern more clearly. And the first technical price target for this pattern is sitting at around $21,000 per Bitcoin. And that's also right where the golden pocket level of support is sitting at, which is the most important Fibonacci level. And not only that, but we also have this previous low sitting at that same $21,000 level. So we definitely have a lot of confluence around $21,000 per Bitcoin. But between now and then, there is another level that we do have some confluence at, and that is coming into play at around 22,500. Because not only do we have this previous low coming into play at around 22,500, we also have previous resistance, which is now acting as new support. And not only that, but of course, we have the 38.2% Fibonacci level, which is the second most important Fibonacci level behind the golden pocket, and that is coming to play at around 22,500. So this means that we could find some support at around this $22,500 level. So keep in mind, we could actually see a bounce around that region. But if the price of Bitcoin breaks below that $22,500 level, then I would expect a drop down towards around 21,000, where we should have quite a lot of support. So like I've been saying for the past few days now, those are the main two levels that I'm watching for Bitcoin to the downside. And when we zoom into the shorter term, taking a look at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart right now, as I'm recording this video, the Bitcoin price has moved into this range of support in the short term, which is coming into play in between around 22.4K and 22.7K. And this now means that the technical price target for this smaller rising wedge pattern on the 4-hour chart has now been met. This is now completed. So obviously, congrats to those of you who did pay attention to this pattern when I was talking about it back up here. And obviously, if you took that trade, you've done very well so far. But right now, as I've recorded in this video, not only is the Bitcoin price entering into this short-term range of support, we're also seeing the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI enter into oversold territories, which is telling us in the immediate shorter term, we have somewhat limited room to the downside, which basically means we could be due to see a bit of a short-term bounce to help reset this RSI. And in fact, the last time we saw the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI enter into oversold territories, that actually turned out to be a local low for Bitcoin before we saw another bullish move over the next few days. So even though as of right now, we technically have not confirmed another short-term bullish reversal, we're still within this shorter-term bearish movement. But with that being said, we do have a couple signs on the smaller timeframes, like the price running into support and the RSI entering into oversold territories, telling us that we could be due to see a bounce sometime soon. But I want to make it clear that this is all talking about these smaller moves in the Bitcoin price that are really only visible on the 4-hour chart or lower timeframes. Because obviously, if you zoom back out to the daily timeframe, these sort of bounces in the Bitcoin price are not really that visible. On the daily timeframe, we're obviously looking at these larger movements in the Bitcoin price. Compared to the smaller timeframe, we're obviously talking about smaller bounces and smaller dumps. So I just want to make it clear that when I'm saying we could be due for a bounce sometime soon in the Bitcoin price around this support level, that does not mean that this larger rising wedge pattern on the daily time frame is completely cancelled or anything like that. We could just be in for a shorter term bounce to help reset that shorter term RSI. And in order to help confirm a bullish reversal again on the smaller time frames, we need to see signals like higher lows and higher highs in the RSI, or perhaps a bullish divergence in the RSI, which we're currently not seeing either of those signals. Or if we see a bullish cross in the 4-hour Bitcoin MACD with some decent bullish momentum, that could also act as a bullish reversal reversal signal in the smaller timeframes, but right now we're obviously not seeing those bullish signals. So for now, I'm technically more bearish than bullish, as I've been saying ever since around here in terms of the shorter term trend. But that doesn't mean that we can't experience a shorter term bounce within that trend. Kind of like how back here we were in a short term bullish trend, but we still had some times within that bullish trend where we experienced some short term bearish price action. But anyway, getting into the Ethereum part of this video, and we're still seeing this cool off play out on the daily time frame for Ethereum after the RSI reached into overbought territories, which was telling us we're due to see a cool off. But other than that, nothing much has happened over the past couple of days for Ethereum on the daily time frame. So if you're new to this channel and you want to know more about this chart right here, check out my last 1 to 2 videos on this channel. But anyway, zooming into the 12-hour Ethereum chart, and obviously we have the breakdown for this bearish rising wedge pattern. And we've actually seen one successful retest, which further confirms the break to the downside, because as we've seen over the past 1 day, we've seen a bit of a bounce back up towards this ascending line of support, and the price of Ethereum got a rejection from that line, which confirms it has now flipped from support into new resistance, which once again confirms the break to the downside. And the first technical price target for this rising wedge pattern is coming into play at around 1.6k. And we do have some confluence around that area, such as previous support coming into play at around 1.6k. And anything below that price target, if we do see a break below 1.6k, then I'll be targeting towards this low, which is coming into play at around 1400. So as of right now, unless Ethereum can quickly break back above this ascending line right here, which is coming into play at around 1930, then unless we see a break above that level, technically we're looking more bearish than bullish as of right now on the 12-hour Ethereum charts. And in case you're new to all of this, these sort of patterns on the 12-hour time frame normally play out at least over 1 week, but usually over a few weeks. And now if we zoom into the shorter term, taking a look at the 4-hour Ethereum chart, obviously the price of Ethereum has made its way down towards this ascending line of support, which is currently coming into play at around 1800. And obviously if you've been watching my videos over the past few days, you would have seen this move coming before it even happened, because the moment we broke below this 5-day moving average, I said it's very likely we could continue down towards this ascending line of support. And as of right now, while Ethereum is still above around 1800, while we're still above this ascending line of support, then this shorter term bullish trend is technically still in play, which makes this bearish move just a cool off within this bullish trend. But if the price of Ethereum starts breaking below around 1800, and more importantly, if we break below this previous low and form a new lower low, and by the way, that previous low is coming to play at around 1650 to 1660, and if Ethereum breaks these levels, then obviously that is a sign that this bullish trend is reversing into another bearish trend. So that makes these price levels important to pay attention to for Ethereum. But as of right now, in the immediate short term for Ethereum, even though we could find support at around 1800, we're technically still looking slightly more bearish than bullish in the immediate short term for Ethereum, considering these price oscillators, for example, have not confirmed a bullish reversal. But keep in mind, the MACD is actually getting pretty close to seeing a possible bullish cross, but as of right now, that hasn't actually been confirmed, even though it is getting close. So like I said, until we actually see those bullish confirmation signals, right now I'm more bearish than bullish in the immediate short term. But of course, we always need to be aware of other signals, such as a possible bullish cross. If that starts to happen, then we could start to see more bullish price action, but as of right now, that isn't currently the case. And if you want to know how to make a bunch of money in crypto, whether or not the price is going up, down, or chopping around sideways, check out these videos popping up right here on your screen, because the video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is going either up or down, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money in crypto if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.